Hi, this is Flash from United Handyman Association with Handyman Answers. So you're checking out a job and you know that it requires a permit. What do you do as a handyman? Do you ignore it because you can't file for a permit? Do you tell the customer that you can't do the job because it's requiring a permit? Or do you explain to them that the job requires a permit and that they should get one? So, I'm sure you're faced with this if you do any type of job, in some states, everything requires a permit. And in others, maybe it's just, bigger improvement jobs or additions and things like that. But let's just talk about what you should do in any case. You're going to have to make that decision for yourself if you want to even do jobs that require a permit. Or maybe this is going to inform you that you can do jobs with a permit. So the difference for a handyman is that a licensed contractor can go and sign for a permit. Excuse me. Can go sign for a permit, and a handyman can't. So basically in that situation, what you would be doing is you'd be informing the homeowner that they need to actually file for the permit. You could go down with them and you could support them and you can help them, you can assist them, but you need to explain that they're actually the ones that are filing for the permit as the owner. So that's the difference between a handyman and a contractor in regards to permits. Now, can a handyman still meet with the inspectors throughout the job? Absolutely. The handyman can still run the job, oversee the job, meet with the inspectors. But as far as filing a permit and how you handle it, so I can tell you what I do. I make sure that the homeowner is aware of the law, the code, and if a job requires a permit, I tell them it requires a permit. I let them make the decision, always. If they choose not to file for a permit, it should be completely on them. They are the ones taking on the liability. My job is to basically inform them and let them know that what's required. The other thing I want to tell them is what the risks are. So I will ask them, first question, what's your relationship with your neighbors? Do you think that your neighbors will complain if we're doing work on your property because of noise or whatever it is? Do you think that they're going to complain, causing attention from maybe a city inspector? So I explain to them the risks involved in an inspector coming across their unpermitted job and the possibility that they may have to tear down whatever progress we have started and start over. I explain to them, the risks and the possible fines and things like that they're going to be dealing with, because that's going to be on them. So they have to make an informed decision. So my job is to make sure that they are informed before I do any project. Now, the other thing might be, because, a lot of times the city requirements are so crazy to where everything, if you change a light fixture, things like that. So my rule of thumb typically is, if I'm going to change something in the house that already exists, that isn't going to show up or be a red flag or show up when they go to sell the house as, this wasn't on the plans or something like that, then, I explain that, and it's interior and the neighbors aren't involved, we're not filing for a permit. I explain to the homeowner everything, but bottom line is, I suggest we don't file for a permit. On the flip side, if they are going to be gaining equity or value on their home by increasing the square footage, and they want that to be, included when they go to sell the property, then they need to file a permit. Otherwise, it's basically going to be called a bonus room or something like that, and they're not going to be increasing value on their home based on the square footage because it won't be included. So I inform them if it's an improvement that they want to see the value in, then they should consider filing for a permit. Now, I do explain to them the differences and that, waiting for inspectors and going through the whole process, a job typically will take a little bit longer if you have an inspector. the increased cost. There is a cost. It's not that much, but there is a cost for filing a permit. There is a cost in labor because you're now meeting with inspectors. You're showing up there basically to meet with inspectors and get things passed and things like that. So you're going to be including that in your quotes as well. Now, I'm talking about this because I know that you do these jobs, regardless of what the laws are, regardless of what the minimums and the limitations are in your state. I know you're doing these jobs. I know you're doing everything you can to get around it. And I've talked about those things before. So I know you're doing these jobs anyway. So it's all about being safe and making sure that you take care of your customer, not only on the job, but pre-job, all the time, making sure that they're taken care of even when you're gone, making sure that what you do is proper, it is done safely, it is done, the way it should be, so that you as a handyman aren't basically, I don't know, it shouldn't be that, oh, well, it's okay, I know it's not to code, but it's, I hired a handyman instead of a contractor. That's not how it should be. It should be, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. He's better than any contractor I could have ever hired. He took care of me. He takes care of me. I know that he's the guy that I can turn to no matter what I need. That's what the handyman's reputation should be like. That's what is expected. Okay? That's what a homeowner should expect. I'm tired of hearing people say, well, it's okay because he's only a handyman. That's ridiculous. That shouldn't be, he's only a handyman. It should be, oh my gosh, he's a handyman. He's not a contractor. He's not somebody that pushes the jobs off to somebody else. He's a handyman, and he's my handyman. That's how it should be. Your customers should be afraid to refer you because they don't want you working for somebody else, because they don't want you busy when they need you. That's how it should be. Okay, so I'm ranting. Bottom line is, obviously I believe in the handyman, but you need to decide how you're going to handle it. Permits, no permits, okay? Tell me in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed. Let me know what your thoughts are on permits, and do you file them? Do you what do you do? Now, the other thing I want to touch base is the legalities of you getting a contractor to file a permit for you. That is worse. And I might touch base on another video about this. That is worse than having the homeowner file the permit. It's much better for you to be on the up and up and have a homeowner file a permit than go in under false pretenses and have a contractor file a permit for you, because that contractor's not doing that job, and it is illegal for you to work underneath his license. So keep that in mind, and I will do another video about that too. But anyway, this is Flash. I think I covered it. I think bottom line is, permits, just talk to them about the pros and cons. Let them know that what's the requirements are. Let them know what the risks are, and cover yourself, cover them, because the last thing you want to do is be in the middle of a job and have an inspector pull up and have to explain to them, oh, I'm sorry, I should have told you it needed a permit or something like that. It just doesn't make any sense at all to take that, that chance. I have done additions, carports, patio covers, you name it, roofing, and I always make sure that they understand what the codes are, and that regardless of them filing for a permit or not, I will follow those codes, and I will make sure things are done properly, so that if ever in the future an inspector, or they're selling the house and they want to inspect the work that was done even though they know it wasn't permitted, that will always pass and it will never come back to me. This is Flash. Happy home repairs. Bye.